use the glory,
but Ebuggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this grabbing racing.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right.
See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
Here we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no! I like this.
Yes, Nitro's the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 287 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great. As you see, no co-host, but I do have two guests on, two co-hosts that helped me out this weekend, and this podcast is all about Ebuggy. But before we get on and we get talking about it and I give you a little introduction, we have to say thank you to all of the NNRC squad around the world. We can't do this without you guys. Thank you guys for all the support. It is greatly appreciated. Also, a big shout out to the patrons and YouTube members, the NNRC Patreon and YouTube membership. You guys go the extra mile and help support the podcast financially. We greatly appreciate your support. If you wish to join the Patreon or the YouTube members and just help out the podcast a little bit, as little as $5 or a month, helps us out a lot. You get perks such as early access. You will get early access of this podcast and other perks that we offer as well. Links for that on the written description of this podcast. Also, we can't do this with the awesome support of these companies. And remember, everybody, showing these companies some love shows the podcast some love. We have links in the written description, affiliate links, coupon codes, all that stuff, so you can save some money. If you don't have a coupon code or affiliate link, just say, hey, I heard about you on the No Name RC podcast. They are Invisible Speed, High Tech RC, Corsatec USA, Sidewinder Fuel, Mayako, Beach RC, Techno RC, Clinic RC, Stacked RC, Racecraft USA. Big shout out to Elite RC Productions as well as Donovan RC. You can find links for all of that right below in the written description of this podcast. Also, a big shout out to our drivers, the official No Name RC drivers, David Runnefolk, Robert Battier, Alexander HagBerg, Matty G, Pekko Evening, Una Hotman, and Mason Fuller. We also have some affiliate and partner companies that we partner with. I have links for all of them in the written description of this podcast. You can save some money or just use some of our affiliate links, and it helps us out a lot. Check it all out in the written description of this podcast. All right, so as I said, this podcast is all about Ebuggy, and you know what that is? The EFRA Ebuggy or EP powered, electric powered buggy European Championships happened this past weekend as I record this in Montpellier, France. Now, those of you that are familiar with Montpellier, they have the GP every year in February. In fact, Ricardo Berton won it this week. It was a very exciting race, and it came down to the wire. So they had the Ebuggy Championships there, and I watched it this weekend. The coverage was by RC Racing TV. I did post links up for it in the No Name RC podcast socials. The VD Angaro won it overall. It was a dominating performance for him. But these two guys that are joining me were there also, and one of them was very fast, and I think he could have got second. So I have my good friend from Portugal, Joao Figueiredo, a.k.a. Litos, and Ricardo Monterio. I've known these guys for a couple of years now. As you guys know, I've been fortunate enough to go over to Portugal to the IBC race, and I just spent 2 weeks over there this past year. And Ricardo and I became friends, and obviously Litos and I have become friends. So I always told Ricardo I want to get him on the podcast because he kind of likes this type of stuff and geeks out on it. And it was really good because they were giving us information that only you would know if you was there. So it was really good to have them on. It took a little bit of time for to get warmed up, but I think they did a good job. Unfortunate for Litos, he was very close to taking a second. We talk all about that. They let me in on some secrets that they saw, things that I didn't even know was going on. Or Max, by the way, because he didn't he hasn't told me anything about this. Secret stuff like tire stuff going on and all this stuff. It's not secret, but I guess out in the open now. It was a great chat with these guys. I appreciate their time. And it was a pretty good podcast. We're coming off that great podcast with Tom Rinderneck. Sorry, I should know his name properly. And I think that was pretty good as well. So a great chat with Joao, or Litos as I call him, and Ricardo. I think we're going to have them on some more. Definitely as they go to these European races, they're always going to the European races. It's always good to get some good insight. Before I go on any further, we do have to pay some bills. And we have the Dakota Slideways Midwest Nationals coming up July 13th to 15th. This is their ad. If you guys are interested, this is a cash payout race. You do not want to miss this. And they are holding this at the in Aberdeen, South Carolina, at the Aberdeen Fairgrounds, I believe. They've been doing a lot of promotion about this. If you're looking for a race to check out and you're in that area, go check out the Midwest Nationals at Dakota Slideways. All right, so a big shout out to the guys there that are hosting the Midwest Nationals Dakota Slideways. If you want to find out any more information for that, I'll have a link for that in the written description. You go to facebook.com/Dakota Slideways. Go make some money in July if you want. All right. Also, don't forget, this podcast is brought to you by Invisible Speed. I was talking to Joseph this morning. They are getting pretty excited. Lutz is doing some live meetings probably as I talk right now. Get in on all the action. Make your speed visible with Invisible Speed. And we have links for that where you can buy a 3-month course. You can buy the books. You can buy a year-long course as well. So check them out.
Stop scrolling. You want to be Lewis Hamilton? Learn something new with Invisible Speed. You can't do everything at 100% maximum speed. You have to be smooth. I mean, when you drive a real car, if you drive a real car, how do you just, when you get to a 90-degree corner to turn into the parking lot, do you go like that with the steering wheel? Do you like slam on the throttle and the brake? No. You probably turn the wheel smooth and get on the throttle smooth. Same thing with an RC car. If you want to learn more and make your speed visible, stop scrolling.
Joining me in the virtual studio this week to have a recap of the EFRA Ebuggy European Championships that happened at the Montpellier Raceway this past weekend is two good friends of mine that I got to hang out with a lot in Portugal a few months ago. If you guys don't know, that's Joao Figueiredo, probably, in my opinion, the most underrated driver in RC. He was very fast. Owner of the the B Buggy Arena and the International Buggy Challenge race that I've been going to. And in the middle is the middleman this week is
Middleman
Roach, Ricardo Monterio, who is also another avid driver, European driver, very good as well. Been racing for a long time. Welcome you guys to the podcast. Thank you for your time. I know you guys are a little bit tired after the Euros this past weekend.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
That's right. Ricardo, I'm going to put you right on the spot. No official X-ray shirt.
I'm at my homework, so I had to do with what I can. I have an hot race shirt. So
he has a hot race shirt. That's good.
I'm representing some stuff.
That's exactly. But you do drive hot race as well as X-ray. So it's good because the X-ray guys were very good this past weekend here at the Ebuggy Euros. A little background about Ricardo and Litos. Both of you guys are second generation racers. Your dad raced. Obviously, your dad's in charge of the association. Ricardo, I've met your parents, your mom and your dad, very involved in the association. Your dad used to race. They're very nice people. I think I kept them awake in Guarda with my snoring when we went up there for the Ebuggy World Cup, which I'm very upset about. I hope I didn't. But very nice. Your mom's very nice person. Your dad, obviously, Litos. I've met your family. They treat me very well. I love Portugal. I really want to live there at some point. But yeah, both of you guys, your dad used to race, so you guys kind of race. Ricardo, you kind of got into racing a little bit later. It wasn't a natural progression, I think he was telling me.
No, because basically my parents, like my mom got a car from my dad when it was his birthday. And then later on they decided to have a shop. And so when I was growing up, the shop was all that I would see, like growing up. So to me, it was nothing special. I didn't really want to do races and do stuff related to RC. I just wanted to like play football, be outside, things that maybe people don't do today. But yeah.
Right. But you eventually got into it. You was about how old when you got into it, racing?
I can't really remember, to be honest. I would say 2006, 2007. Okay. That's probably.
And you're what, 30-ish now?
30.
Right. So
few days to 30 till 31.
There you go. And Litos, obviously, you've been on the podcast before. I think a lot of people know you. Recently making the switch over to techno this past year. Doing pretty well, doing very well. You and the Parente brothers, probably the strongest techno presence I've seen in Europe and ever. I mean, they've had different drivers like Barufalo and whatnot, but techno seems to be growing, especially during the south of Europe, Portugal, Spain, and Portugal. I know Greece has a big population of techno guys, and France actually.
France,
I was very shocked at
France is the biggest one, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's the biggest market, I think.
More on Ebuggy though, and E-Truggy, from what I know. But yeah, there are quite a lot, guys.
Yeah, because we had those two guys from France that were practicing, RC Tony and the other guy, can't remember his name, that you was helping out. And they were both techno drivers. So good push by Elias and the techno team over there. Was a good weekend for you guys as well with having two technos in the finals. But we're here to talk about the EFRA Ebuggy Euros that took place at the Montpellier MBM facility. This is the host of the Montpellier GP, which is a great race every year in February. It's very cold. It's a very European style track, I want to say. But they did change it up a bit compared to the GP, the Nitro GP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did. Like the whole left part of the track was different, basically. They added a pretty difficult chicane and didn't look that well once you got there. But then while driving, wasn't that bad, to be honest. Everyone thought would be worse. But yeah, the track is pretty much has been the same from a lot of years now. They changed a couple of years ago. They added the bridge on the right side, and they changed the right side. So I think, they had to change because the EFRA rules now say you need to change at least 50%. So I suppose that's what they did. So yeah,
let's have a look at it while we're here. This is footage from the A final. It was also a lot more dusty than usual, it looks like.
Yeah, I would say that on this point, it was a lot better than
difficult qualifying
when we got there on Friday. For sure.
Oh, yeah? Well, I know that chicane you're talking about. It's on a hill as well.
Yeah.
So it looked very hard. And then I think, if I remember correctly, did they go this way did they go this way as well in the GP, or did they go the other way? Did you go?
No, it was this way already.
Okay. So this is the chicane you're talking about right here on the hill.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, you came onto the straightaway for the Montpellier GP.
Yeah. Instead of going to the blue part and doing all the jump here and then. So we would do this part where we are now and then go back to the top left and then go back to the straight.
To the straight,
Yeah.
Yeah, that double before the blue concrete section. That was that there in at the Montpellier GP?
No, that's all new stuff.
Okay, okay.
So this section, point is new. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ricardo. Sorry.
Then the chicane is in, and now it's all new again, up until the part where it's the same.
So for those of you that are watching this may not be familiar with European tracks, that's actually polished blue concrete. And that has been there at that track for I don't know how long.
I think I'm going to say decades for sure.
Yeah, that same section. They also have some paver, a block section, like paved block sections as well. You have a tree in the middle of the track that's pretty cool with a bank turn. Litos, I think that's you getting it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But just so people who are listening to this, they can get a little feel for the track. Now, when I've seen this track at other races, it's been a little bit more high grip, like it forms like a black groove, it seems like. And go ahead.
Yeah, normally it does, but I think this race was kind of different from what we all the people that haven't been in Montpellier during the summer didn't expect this, right? Because we always go there on February where it's cold, rain, you have nitro cars running as well. And it gets like to a point that is just blue group, like eye grip, like we use clay tires. And this time we got there and it was like dusty, hot. The grip was like you have and you don't have grip here and there. So, I mean, it was pretty different, to be honest. But yeah, normally they just get it like oil, I suppose, but this time they didn't. They put some oil on the track normally. So for the Euros, I suppose, it was just completely different. We used like medium tires. We never used that in Montpellier. We always go like through, let's say, hot race white, super soft. And soft is the maximum. It's already when it's hot. And we pretty much stick with the clays for the whole run. So here was different. I don't know.
Yeah, and at the GP, the Ogo tires were really fast. So while were they? While Berton was on Ogo, and he finished what? He finished 10th. So I guess the Ogo tires weren't the tires to be on this week at this race.
I think it was just different circumstances. Because
how hot was it?
Oh, it was hot.
20 something, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say between 25 to 28 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so 80 to 90 degrees.
Yeah, should
85 to 90 degrees in Fahrenheit. All right. Yeah. What was your thoughts on the track, Ricardo?
I got there, and it didn't look that like loose, to be honest. But there were some parts where if you walked the track, you could feel that they were like super soft. So, for example, we had the first round, and we could immediately see that there was no grip. Everything was like dusty. Because actually, I don't know if you can see on the video, the X-ray tents were on the right side. So on the two double sections, you can see that the X-ray tents were like there. You can see it, the hoodie and X-ray. After like one round, we had to cover the tents with the black tarp because basically everybody was like coughing dirt.
Yeah, covered in dust.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So did the track change much throughout the day, or did the weather kind of just stay the same throughout from morning to day? Was it a little bit cooler in the morning?
I think the weather, apart from like the slight sprinkle that we had on Saturday, I think it kept pretty much about the same. The only thing that they made different was we had the first round, which was like super loose. And then afterwards, they decided to put brooms on each marshal spot, and we started brooming the track. And then with how hot it was, the dirt actually packed up and gained some grip.
All right. I did see guys sweeping the track quite regularly, turn marshals in between. So I was just shocked because I've never seen it so dusty before. Litos, what was your favorite part of the track and least favorite part of the track?
Well, I didn't really like the new double after the new chicane, like on the left part. I think both of those jumps, like the table jump and the double, were not really good because there was no momentum. Like you had to really shorten up both jumps. So yeah. And then the chicane, to be honest, sometimes it felt like was super good. The new chicane on the top left.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the part that I really prefer is just like coming down the straight. You do the whole big corner going behind the three, and the whole jumping section, which is pretty difficult, to be honest, because you get like there with a lot of speed and so on. So you need to just take it easy some places. But that whole section, like starting from here where we are seeing this part and going behind the tree, like these jumps here, they're pretty good. I mean, if you get them pretty well, it just feels nice. And then going until the chicane, like here, I think that's my favorite part, to be honest. The chicane, it's like one lap you like it, the other lap you don't. Because it's like you either get it. Yeah, it depends like if you get it right or not, to be honest. I had some like there's a video of me doing some laps in my Q4, I think. And there's like you can see the lap I enjoyed it doing it, and you can see the lap I didn't. Because like the car goes wobbly or it goes straight. So but yeah.
It's on a steep angle too, because that's all elevated and on a very steep angle. I mean, yeah, it looks hard. Like if you don't get it right, you're just gonna slide on.
Yeah. And then you have the off-camber part, and then you have a tube, which was pretty big. At the start, we were hitting it like pretty hard, I would say.
Yeah.
So you had to really be careful. You had to start preparing for the section right before you jump the double.
I also saw, like, as you got through the chicane, like, I think when it went up to its highest point, it was a big hole there, and that caught Ronnefolk out in one of his finals or one of his qualifiers. I can't remember what I saw. And I saw it clutch out a lot of people as well. Ricardo, how about you? Favorite and least favorite and favorite part of this track?
I was hearing Joao, and I was gonna say pretty much the same. I would say right after the two, like the section of jumps on the right side, like doing that small right turn, going over the bridge, going down up until the double, I would say it just feels super nice. I would say it's nicer to do it when with the old grip. The cars just feel like more planted there, but still when you did it nicely, it was pretty good. And least favorite, I would say probably the new small jump and then double jump right before the...
But it looks so easy.
Yeah, but
maybe that's why it's not as fun.
I mean, it looks easy, but you really have to prepare it well, like it's... And then like before the small jump, like the table jump or whatever that is, that left corner going downhill, it's super sketchy. Like one time the car would turn in great, the other time would just push you like understeer. So it's like, I don't know, that part was just, I don't know why they did it, to be honest.
Yeah, because if you see, I don't know if you can see it from video, probably not, but from us sweeping so much and the dirt not being like super hard packed, it got some like waves and stuff. Even if it looked like it had some bumps, even like especially at the start of the straight, you could see some holes developing, and you can see some cars getting there all wobbly. So yeah, that made I think the grip was coming up, and then from the holes forming, it made it even more catchy.
How about that polished section before that jump? That's always looked very difficult because I'm sure it gets a little layer of dust on it. It's already slippery, and you could just see cars struggling for grip. The jump in front of it is not the biggest jump, but It's hard.
It is hard because, first of all, the double is just facing the rostrum, right? So you don't really see the car taking off. Whatever you are standing in the rostrum, you don't see the car for like half a second, I would say. So you don't know if you have the right amount of speed or not to do it. That's why I think so many people just case the jump or over jump it. And the slippery part, it will really depend. Like one lap, you would go there and the car just feels super nice and the grip is good. And you miss the jump just a little bit, or you go a little bit longer and it's just sliding everywhere. So yeah, but like for example, that's one of the parts that changed a lot. Not
Really?
the part itself, but it changed a lot compared to the GP in February. Because at the GP we would be using clay tires, right, or synthetic, let's say.
Yeah.
And the grip there, like I remember at the main, I almost grip rolled like 2 or 3 times
In the blue part.
in the blue part. Yeah.
Because
So
with the synthetic, you have a lot more traction for non-dirt sections.
yeah. So, and it, I mean, during the main, I remember was getting hot. The grip was super high, so the tires were warm, and you get there, and it's like a full Sharpie 90 degrees corner, you know. But yeah, it's that part is kind of sketchy, especially like we didn't race it. Like I think Ricardo and me, at least we didn't. On Sunday, it sprinkled a little bit, so I'm pretty sure the people that drove on with those sprinkles, they would begging for help there, to be honest.
Oh, I could imagine. It's so slippery. And then, like you said, it's the face of it. You can't see it.
No.
Right? So you're jumping blind.
And on top of that,
it's always been there.
And on top of that, it's e-buggy. I mean, I don't know for Joao, but at least for me, the feeling is never the same.
I must admit, the nitro cars look like they were getting, I mean, obviously the track's different.
No.
But with the weight of the e-buggies and whatnot, they just look like like some of the chicanes were, the drivers had to go through there so slow, especially those 180s that are after that section. Like in the nitro cars, them guys were able to drift those cars around that pretty much, when I remember, because that's one of the sections that stays the same. But in e-buggy, man, it was like they were crawling going through those sections, like literally like driving up on the pipe going as slow as possible and stopping people from going around them.
I think that's one of the issues of not having, first of all, nitro cars running, because you don't get the oil on the track, so it doesn't get smooth. And I mean, e-buggy is always like, if you don't, it's like Ricardo said, if you don't have a good feeling on it, everything feels like sketchier on the first touches on the trigger, let's say.
Yeah.
So you want to have, like most of the people that drive e-buggy nowadays just came from nitro, right? So you always want the clutch feeling, let's say. Everything smooth at the beginning, no snappy things. So I think like on e-buggy, if you don't really get the rhythm well, it just messes you up. That's why you would see some people crawling the pipes, some people going wide. Yeah.
I think it was just a byproduct of how the weather was and how the track was, because I'm pretty sure if we had nitros there at the same exact time, they would be slower than e-bug.
Really?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Because normally you don't have enough. You have a lot more forward traction with e-buggy.
Okay. What were so I guess first Euros for you well, not first Euros, but first 1/8 scale Euros of the year. It's been kind of, guys haven't really, besides the Montpellier GP, there hasn't really been a race where everybody's gotten together since then. Obviously, unfortunately, IBC got rained out and whatnot. But what was the atmosphere like? Were people excited to see people? I know, like, you guys haven't seen each other for a couple of months, but how was it? While over there racing, like racing hasn't even stopped in the USA, right? So them guys have been hit, you know. Joao, you've been to the USA twice this year.
Yeah.
So you've been racing steady, but to get all the best of Europe there, what was the atmosphere like?
I mean, it was good, to be honest. I think most of us already met the week before or 2 weeks before. At
the warm-up.
At the
Nitro Euro warm-up.
Yeah. I think they were just missing a couple of guys. Ricardo was not there. Burak was not there. Who else? I think 1 or 2 more guys weren't there. So But I think the atmosphere was pretty good, to be honest. It felt like, like I've been racing so much since January, February, let's say, that I almost forgot the European races. So we got there and I'm like, okay, I need to rush because I need to take my spot. And then I remembered, oh no, this is by nations. So I don't need to get my spot. My spot is there. I just need to choose which one I want, right? But yeah, I think the atmosphere is good. People were getting along pretty well. It's always nice, like it's e-buggy. It doesn't feel as like so tense as it is on Nitro, I would say, because everything feels like quieter. Like no one is talking. You can shout. You can do anything. But yeah, everything. I think it went pretty well. The organizers did a pretty good job as well on that. The referee and everything, I don't think no one can say anything regarding this weekend. So,
was Stitz in the referee?
What
was Stitz in the referee?
It was the one that did the World.
Stetson, yeah, Stetson.
Yeah, Stetson.
I thought I heard his voice. Ricardo, first big race for you with the X-Ray team. I guess Ronald Falk being there. The X-Ray team stacked. You know what? Max Gottsman needs to change his colors, because his car looks too much like Ronald Falk's. But you had the whole X-Ray team. Yeah, Ronald Falk was there. What was that like for you?
It was pretty cool getting to meet the guys again. Obviously, I was with Davey at the GP when he started with the 1.8 program. We already worked a little bit there, I would say. I would give him like the things that I felt were going good just to get him up to par. And then here we just continue with it. Actually, right before this race, we were in Marseille for a little bit of testing with the team. So it was pretty good.
Okay. And how was the techno pits? How many technos were there, Joao?
I was muted, sorry. I mean, apart from the three of us, like the official ones, the Parientes and me, we had one more Spanish kid, Iker.
Yeah, I know Iker.
And I mean, there were quite a lot of guys. I didn't know where they were until I started like walking around the pits, because I mean, we were pitting like on different areas, right? We're most of us were pitting on their country and not their team. But I think I don't know. I remember I went to meet up with Mark from Modelics, and I got there and I said, "Oh, this is where all the techno guys are," because there was a full table just full of French guys using techno cars. I'm like, "Oh, this is great."
Good. What was the biggest team there, you think? Was it X-Ray?
Probably.
I would say between X-Ray and techno for sure.
Really?
Because X-Ray is pretty big on that part of the country because of Agon.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And then France is obviously super strong with techno and e-buggies. So I would say it's 50-50.
I don't know if there is like a chart saying how many there were. They normally do one. So I'm
not sure. None of that info out, unfortunately. Neobug used to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So this race started when exactly? What day did it start?
Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you guys got there what, Thursday or Wednesday?
Well, I got there Thursday. Ricardo got there like
I got there on Wednesday night, I would say. And then slept. And then in the morning I drove to Marseille to be with the X-Ray guys.
All right. So Friday was practice then. You had free practice and regular practice. We're looking at the ranking list. No big surprises here. Ronafog was very fast in practice. You know, he got second in free practice. And what I guess we could split is the free practice just going out there and just doing your best 10 minutes or whatever. And then the practice is where they kind of seed you, your best 3 consecutive laps, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I have it up here. We had at the end of practice, it was Ongaro in front, followed by Ronafog, JC3, Coelho, Remy Bermudez. So the X-Ray guys found something. Theo Lemire, he runs HB. Barufalo, oh man, Barufalo didn't even make the main. Clement Boda, I was surprised to see his name up there too. Barkin-Killick, and Joao, you was on in 10th, followed by Elliot Boots and Polito.
Yep.
So not too surprised about the French guys being in this. Maybe Clement Boda a little bit, because I know he's more of a 10 scale guy. But a little bit of surprises in practice with Robert was on in 24th. And Noah Ben Mohammed, who was in 20th, but he would show up for qualifying day. Which, did you guys start qualifying on Friday as well?
No, we did it on Saturday.
All right, because you guys kind of sped up the program as well because weather was coming on Sunday.
Yeah, we were scheduled to do like 5 qualifyings on Saturday, but the weather was like looking so bad that they speed it up like to make just 4 qualifyings and take only the best 2 out of 4. And we did already 1 A main on Saturday, or 1 full main for everyone on Saturday, because I suppose like they wanted to make sure we would run just at least 1 in case it would rain out on Sunday. So yeah, that was it. And then on Sunday we just did 2 mains. That was it.
Right. So they had a LCQ from the B main. So I think they took what was it? I think it was 12 cars in total that went through.
Yeah, 12 for each. And then the first, I mean, this year it wasn't the first, but the first B final served as the LCQ.
Well, no, I think they just did a LCQ because they had 3 B finals.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know if it was last year or the previous year, the first final would be the LCQ.
No, I think it's like we normally do mains warm-ups for every main, and the B main warm-up is normally the LCQ.
Oh yeah,
so
that's right.
Since they didn't do the warm-ups for everyone, they just made like the LCQ in the middle of like the whole main schedule, and then they redid the first main just with the B main guys.
Okay, so going into qualify Q1 on Saturday, you found something, Joao, because you went from 10th in practice. Ongario takes the first practice, first Q1 with a win. You came 5th in that one, so you found some speed, top 5. Noah Ben Mohammed was the big surprise, who young French race. I think he's 14 years old. If people don't know who he is, he's an X-ray driver. He finished 3rd in 4-wheel drive after a great battle with Bruno Coelho at Robin Hood Raceway for the 10 scale European Championships maybe 2 years ago, I think it was. So I was very shocked to see him doing well. JC3, he kind of had a slow start. He was 13th, so that was one of his throwout runs. Ronafog, we got to talk about him because he had an 8th in that round as well. So he kind of lost some pace overnight. What happened? What happened? I'll ask you, Joao, because you found some pace. What happened between Friday and Saturday where you picked up the pace? Because you also got in Q2, you came 2nd. You won Q3, you TQ Q3, and you got another 2nd in Q4.
Well, I know that we did change some stuff on my car. I think we went like different pills, like the inserts on the arms and everything. We changed a little bit that. I went to an 8-hole setup. I was on 6 holes, so I went straight to 8 holes for qualifying. I think that helped a little bit as well. But I think the thing that changed the most, they cleaned the whole track. Ending Friday, they just took out all the dirt of the track, and we were still like brooming the track, right? So it just maintained the grip more equal, I would say.
Okay.
Because there was, it wasn't like a big change, but was definitely a little bit. And I stuck with the same tires and everything from Friday. At that point, we were still using like Amazonia, and everyone was using like the kind of long mains tires, let's say, kind of stuff. Everyone but Davide. Davide was already on like, I think it's Black Hole, the name it was using, which is kind of the indoor type of tire and so on. So yeah, I think we just kept the same. The speed was good. Noah was a big surprise. That was for sure. I mean, I suppose this is at home, French, right? So he's feeling motivated. The kid is super fast. He's always been fast, I suppose.
What did the X-ray guys find, Ricardo?
I would say we came up there with mostly the setup that the guys found from the testing the days prior. And then I would say we just changed because the track developed. Like it got more packed, slightly less dust in there, and also the holes forming. I would say we had to change a little bit. But for example, you were saying about David getting a 8 for the round. I would say he was one of the many qualifiers where he was unlucky because he was going super fast, and I think he got a crash on the final laps, I would say, because I think his pace was super good.
Yeah, and then I think in one of those qualifiers, it must have been the second one. He finished. He didn't get count because his transponder didn't count.
Yeah, so he started counting, and then I think his transponder just disconnected or something. I'm not sure. And then the time control wasn't really, or didn't really notice, because otherwise they would have been able to put the laps in.
We got to look at the EFRA rule on that. I don't know if
I think there's a ruling for that, because I remember Carlos, because Carlos Gomez was there, and he was saying that if they picked it up fast enough, they would have been able to do something about it. I don't know if they would average the laps or just count it manually or whatever. But they said there was stuff that they could have done to get him a time.
But we have it's weird because we have these two young French guys. I don't know how far away Noah and Remy Bermudez live from this track. France is a big country.
Remy is local.
Okay, so
because his dad is one of the organizers. So yeah.
Okay. So no real surprise there. Noah Ben Mohammed, good to see him out here doing some 8-scale racing. He's a 14-year-old kid. JC3, shocked to see him down and not taking, like, I'm expecting this fight to be between, no offense, Litos, between Ongaro, JC3, and Ronafalk, right? And Canas, he got his best finish as a third, right? And in the third round of qualifying. So he was a little bit off pace as well. Bruno kind of steady. His best finish was a third. Barkan's always fast in e-buggy. But I have to say, Burak not being in that top spot, Barufala was on 18th. Burak was in 21st after everything. Even Robert in 17th. And I know Robert doesn't like e-buggy. But, and Boots, who's been on a very hot streak, finding himself down in 11th overall when after qualifying was done. So a bit surprising there. Parente, Daniel, in 8th. I think it's a good thing for him. Polito's got to start winning some of these races because I know he's fast enough to do it. He was very fast.
I think it was actually his first Ebuggy Euros.
Okay.
Or his first probably Ebuggy race or something because he just got the car this year. Because I remember speaking with his dad and him past few years, and they always would say, "Nah, I'm never getting an e-buggy. I'm never getting an e-buggy. Those stuff like that stuff are dangerous. The lipos can explode and this and that." And out of nowhere, he got like a third at the second qualifying, just behind me.
Let's see what he got. He did. He got a 3. So, Joao, you was feeling it, man. I mean, you had a 5, a 2, a 0, and a 2. So you was flying.
Yeah, you know what is fun? I did the first two. I got 5th at the first. I got caught up with some back markers, and I think I lost. I would say like 1 second, 1.5 seconds or something. So that would be like second to third, not close to Ongaro. For the second one, I was already speaking with Nicola and my dad and Robert, and we were like, okay, I think I can get closer to him, but I'm not sure if we should change tires already or just keep the same. So we kept the same for the second one. Was a cleaner run, let's say. But still, I think I don't even know how much, but the difference on that qualifying was 3 seconds from him to me or something. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be hard. So I think, I did like 5:16.3, and he got like 13.3. So that's full 3 seconds. I'm like, where can I get that? And since I was already like for sure in the main, I think I was one of the first guys, if not the first, to go on Sarah Soft. And the things just clicked. Like the car was on rails from that point on. And yeah, I got like the TQ on that Q3 for like a couple tenths. I'm not even sure.
I think.
Yeah. Because we both messed it up a little bit, but I think I got the better hand, I would say. And then going to Q4, I'm like, okay, I need to take that one. And starting off first lap, I lose like 2.5 seconds on the first lap. I'm like, no way I'm getting this. And then, I don't know, the car was just so good to drive. Like, everything was...
That's where you kind of flipped on the straightaway, right?
Yeah, like first lap, opening the qualifying, it's like, there's a bump, boop, big flip. I was sliding. I remember I was shouting to my dad, I can't believe this. Why? And from there, I think after that, so I did a 36.9 on first lap, right? We were doing 34s. And after that, my worst lap was 34.6. So I just started clipping laps. And no one else like was doing 34s as consistent as we were, like me and Davide. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, something just clicked. The car was amazing. We did small changes. I think from first quali to second, we did change a little bit the car as well to make it more easy. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. Car was crazy good. We did some different stuff from what we have done in the past. I think that helped, especially going wider body on the car. So, yeah.
I had somebody ask about that too. They sent me a picture. One of your fellow Portuguese guys who live in Bermuda goes, "What's this e-buggy that Joao is running?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe they got a new e-buggy because you had a very wide body on there." So I don't know how much you can tell us about that.
We just did like some 3D printed stuff. Mayfield already used it at Silver State.
Mm-hmm.
He tried the last qualifying. And I had a chat with him and the guys, and they said we could do that. That would make the car more stable. So yeah, it did. Mm-hmm. Did the car much, much better.
Can you elaborate on what you guys 3D printed?
I mean, I got, to be honest, I got those 3D printed side guards from Cana's mechanic. He did because he used to drive Techno, and he had the whole mold and everything for that. And we were at the Spanish Nationals the weekend before. I was marshalling at the practice, and he just came with like this plastic bag and gave it to me. I'm like, "What's this?" He said, "It's the side guards." Oh, nice. So yeah.
So they're 3D printed.
Yeah, mine are 3D printed. I think the ones that Ryan used are 3D printed as well.
How are they holding up?
Really good. They did the whole event. I thought they would break up or, get a little bit messy, but they're pretty good, to be honest. They lasted.
Every single techno driver in the USA is going to want these 3D printed sidecars. Was that the same mechanic he had with him at the World Cup?
Yeah, same guy.
Monterio, you were no slouch. I mean, you kind of beat some fast French guys here. I know probably not the performance that you want, but you ended up being in, I had it right here.
C
final, 36 overall after qualifying. But you're in front of Renault Savoia, Jordan Lott. Some fast guys here you was beating. Thomas Musso, who's very fast in e-buggy. Just going through some of the names here. How was your race going? Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I had a bit of a surprise when I got there because I thought I was going to just race and be with the team and stuff. And then I ended up actually not pitting, but doing mechanic for Bruno. So then it was more like using my runs to test stuff or see what would work better or not. And then doing the best we could for Bruno's result. But I think it was pretty good. I felt pretty good driving. Maybe I was not the fastest, but I I mean, talking with the guys that were there, even Joao, I think, can say it, the car was looking good on track. It was just the driver needed to be more punched.
You know, there's a funny story of us. We are last round of seeding, right? And I was up, me and Bruno, we were both up after Ricardo. And he was driving and I had my headsets on. I'm like speaking with my dad and asking him, how is Ricardo doing? He said, oh, he's going slow. Like, I don't remember what time we were doing for 3 laps. Let me check. But it was like, so yeah, kind of did like, what's that? Oh, they don't have it here. Or do they? Yeah, they might have it here. Wait. Yeah, so we're doing like 144. Let's say that would be the average, 145, 144, 143 for 3 laps. And Ricardo was like on a 148 on the last one until the last 3 laps. And I asked my dad, he said, no, he's going slow. I don't know why. And I got next to him on the rostrum. And I'm like, dude, you need to step it up or you're going to be like 8.5 or something. You're going slow. Just push it. Let's go. And I did the last 3 laps by his side, just saying, come on, push, and like saying where he could push more and so on. He ended up like getting his 3 best laps on the on the 3 last laps, right? So until there, I have it here. He had like his fast lap was a 35.4, which was okay, but he didn't connect like 3 good laps. So after that, like he had like a 37.2, and after that was like 35.4, 35.2, 35.6, and he improved to a 146.3, like out of nowhere. I'm like, dude, why didn't you do that at the beginning? So yeah, it's what he said. Like he needed to improve. I think sometimes he gets too comfortable, and he just gets there and he's like chilling, driving.
I think I'm just having fun. You know, when everything just clicks and feels okay, you're not like on edge 100% of the time and just having fun around the track. That's how I have been feeling lately.
Hold on. You said you was doing some mechanic work for Bruno, but at these races where I'm seeing your dad's doing all the work on your car.
Yeah, we had a chat about that. So basically, when I crossed back to Bruno's car, my dad stayed with my car.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had all of the discussion. So yeah, now you're working on Bruno's car and you never work on yours. Maybe you could have done that from the beginning. So
I think your dad likes working on your car. That's what.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he likes working. He was asking everyone else if they wanted a mechanic because he felt like he was doing nothing.
He said, "I'm going to do a CV. Do you need a driver? Do you need a driver?
Do you need a mechanic?
Do you need a mechanic? Do you need a mechanic?"
Because the races that I've been at and he's nonstop. He don't stop.
Yeah, he just loves wrenching, I think.
This race, they were pretty chilled.
Yeah.
Since
your mom's always off doing something too.
She was the team manager this time.
Yeah, I saw that. She was carrying the Portugal sign.
Yeah.
All right. I guess my biggest surprise of this is Ronnefalk. Obviously, with this, he finds himself in the BQ. But a pleasant surprise was actually he was very fast at the World Cup. Is this kid David Todd, right? I remember at the World Cup that dude, even though it wasn't a big turnout, he was fast.
Yeah,
he actually was he was 14th right behind him. I know Robert wouldn't be happy with a 17th, Barufalo in 18th, Burak 21st. Jesus. Who else do we have here? I think that's about it of the really fast guys that I expect to be in this main. They had an LCQ. Ronnefalk dominated that from start to finish. Not surprised about that. At one point, I thought that maybe Robert and Bruno Robert and Burak were having a good little battle. But I just, like I said to people, I think Robert, I know he wants to do better. I know he doesn't like Ebuggy that much, but Robert's in that next phase of his RC career, which is transitioned over to businessman and all that type of stuff. Excellent blog by Robert. Unfortunately, you guys don't speak Spanish, but it was a very good blog of it. You was in it, Joao, because when you guys were racing go-karts and all that type of stuff. There. Yeah. So go check that out. So Ronnefalk starting on the back foot. Very good start for him, but kind of starting on the back foot. And it's kind of similar to what kind of has been plaguing him this year. DNC had a good run, but like Silver State, he had some good starting positions, but he got taken out quite a lot at the start and had to start from the back, and just not able to make his way up to the front, right? Which we've seen him do before. So I'm hoping that he can get those type of gremlins out of his system and get back on track. We talked about it, Ricardo, and he said something that he said to me as well, which was, he said this to me in RCGP. In 2015, I didn't win one race. In 2016, I won the Worlds. So we can never count out Runner Falk going into this here, but pleasantly surprised with Noah Ben Mohammed. Bruno Connor, they're in solid. You know, I was bragging on the chat how I thought that you are surpassing Bruno. I still think you are the number one Portuguese off-road racer in the world.
Appreciate it.
And then that started a whole plethora. Well, Bruno doesn't race this much. And I said, look, no disrespect to Bruno, because he's damn good. We go into this. 13 cars in the final. We have 3 A finals. And I think they had 3 lower. Each man got 3 lower finals, if I'm correct. So I think they went. Let's see. To bring up the finals, they went on to a final. It looks like. So everybody got 3 10-minute runs. It was 10 minutes, correct?
Yep.
So lots of runtime for one class, Ebuggy.
Yeah, it was good. I think people appreciate it, to be honest, because I think the past years we have been doing it always like this. At least in Europe, you always get the 3 qualifying, the 3 mains for everyone. And, you know, I think most of the people that just come to these races are just want to enjoying, right? Like Ebuggy is just this chill class. There's nothing like big noises and everything. So people are just there enjoying, grabbing a beer with their friends, wrenching their cars, talking shit about each other's, right?
It's a lot more laid back.
Yeah,
I get it.
So I think they were having like 30 minutes for everyone was just good, to be honest.
Okay. So also I want to reiterate there were no bump ups from these mains as well. There was just an LCQ. The only bump up was Runafalk. They started A1. We had A1 on there. Kind of Ongaro kind of made it a little bit boring, right? He kind of gets out there, A1, wins A2. I know Juan Carlos Canas, he just it just seemed like honestly, the only person I felt that had something for him was you. Wow.
I thought the same, to be honest. Like, you know, like I had. So I'm gonna start because these past 3 races have been like just like a clipping thing on my mind or something. I don't know, because like the warm up, I finished 7th, I think, or 8th or 9th. I don't know, somewhere around there. But at the semifinal, I was leading the semi in front of Canas and Robert. I flamed out, some issues in the pits with the fuel gun and so on, but that's it. We go to the next weekend. I'm like 4 seconds off Canas in the 45 minutes main in his home track. So I'm like, you know, like you feel confident, the car is working good. So I started to do the same thing on my Ebuggy. And I remember leaving from my house in the morning to get the plane to Barcelona. I was telling my dad, I don't really know how is this going to go, because it's the only class I never really know how it will be, right? Like everything is just a rush. Like you need to do, the qualifyings need to be on point, otherwise you're out of the main. Then you go to the main, it's 10 minutes. You either do it well or it's a mess. Like you don't have the time to come back, right? And I mean, I did the qualifying, was good. Got to the main. I was super nervous. I'm not gonna tell you I wasn't, because it was like the first time I felt like I had the pace and speed to do it, to be there. And I mean, we did like a wrong tire choice because we kept the same as we had in qualifying, but I think it was fun. Like from 2 p.m. where we finished the last qualifying to 7 p.m. or 6:30 or something, the track just got like super grippy. Cars were like moving around so much, and people already told me like you should go on mediums, but I'm like, should I risk it? Like the car was so good on qualifying, I didn't really want to change, right? And yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I thought I could keep up with him a little bit, and then like 4 or 5 minutes into the main, I'm already doing more and more mistakes. I'm like, okay, I need to settle down and see where I can finish, and that's when people just started to overtake me. But yeah, Ongaro was just on another level on this race, so it was pretty hard. Can ask him back, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Did
he find something with tires? Only J Concepts guy out there, right?
He had both Baldos there.
Nope. They're J Concepts.
Yeah.
Is that been announced?
I suppose so. They have been taking pictures.
Yeah,
how have I missed that?
Yeah, on their post they already have J Concepts.
Yeah.
No shit.
And stickers on the body as well.
Ooh.
I think
going into the worlds, the owners of the track are now on J Concepts. Smart move, J Concepts. Smart move. I did not know that.
But yeah, I think he found something. I mean, he kept asking. I remember at Ricardo was marshalling like at the 11 cone or something, and I went to him after his first main, and I saw Canas like asking like this, and we were both talking, me and Ricardo, and I'm like, is he talking to me? And then I just figured out, okay, no, he's asking the Baldos if the tires are good or not, because I suppose they were testing some stuff.
I'm gonna have to message him and ask him. I have no idea, because they were a Matrix, right? Weren't they a Matrix?
Yes,
wow.
sir. Yeah.
Ricardo, you're holding out information on me.
I mean, we knew about it for a while because we attend the nationals, so it was something that we knew about already. Well,
dude, that is gonna bode well for all J Concepts drivers in September.
But yeah, for sure. Now that you're talking about the situation with the Baldos and Canas, I know they were testing some stuff. So
really,
yeah,
like new compounds or new tires, new tread patterns.
I don't know if I can say it.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it was visible. If someone took a picture,
Joao can say it. Joao can say it. You don't.
Yeah, I can say it because I don't know. I know that Canas told me that they had some new stuff, like different design. I know that for sure that he had a different compound for like harder compound in Spain. That's for sure. Nothing else, I suppose. But yeah, they are like different. They are doing stuff. From what I know, they are doing stuff to do better here in Europe.
Well, big market, right? Big market that J Concept needs to get into.
Actually, I think everybody was doing, or pretty much all brands had something new or that they were testing at this race.
That's right, because I heard Hot Race had a new tire. Now you're both going to go quiet. That's all right. I get it.
I mean, we do have one, and people already saw it. It's Havana. I think we can say about it.
Yeah, Hot Race already posted a story about.
Yeah.
They didn't show the design, but they showed the name of the tire. So,
what's the name of the tire, and what's the purpose? What's this tire made for?
Can we say it?
I don't know. I suppose we can.
I mean, you can be vague. I mean, look. I don't want to get you guys.
It's gonna be something to get in between Sahara and Amazonia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The thing that probably we were missing, or that we needed to work on, was maybe something for when it's like super oiled or super dark, or some kind of combination that would work with a speed that would be similar to a Sahara, but with the consistency of Amazonia.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Cool. See, we're getting some inside scoops. It's always good when we have you guys there. I did not know about the Baldo brothers, but now that I think about it, it's actually a brilliant move by J Concept. Brilliant.
I hope Nicola doesn't get mad at us.
Nicola, he can get mad at me.
He's not gonna get mad. I love him.
I love him.
If on the next podcast you don't have a hat, we know something happened.
No, I think we'll be all right. I mean, it's no secret the tire's coming out. It's just, it's going to come out eventually.
Yeah.
So we go into, like I said, Ongaro dominates A1. I have my points up here. It looks like JC3 took second. Joao, you had a 6 in that round. So was it?
Yeah.
No, round 1 you had A1 you had a 6. Noah Ben Mohammed, he had a 3rd. That's actually really good. Really surprised. I'm surprised because he's a 10 scale guy. I hope he does some nitro. His parent, him and his dad seem to be very nice people.
I think it does quite a lot, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I think it just never got. I mean, sometimes he does like pretty good. Sometimes he's there like quarters, let's say quarters to semi. Sometimes he's fighting there. On nitro.
Does he do nitro?
Yeah.
Oh,
nice. I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about them, both him and Remy at the B Euros.
Oh yeah, yes. I'm commentating.
Remy, I suppose he's not, because he was Euro B champion last year, right? So
yeah, but I don't know if you win, they don't kick you out. It's only if you do top 50, I think, at the Euros.
I'm not sure.
Because I remember talking with
Euro B.
Me?
Either of you?
I didn't. He did.
He tried many times. I went there once and I won it.
I could have thought that you told me you won a Euro B.
This guy won the first Euro B ever made.
Where was it to?
No, it wasn't the first one, I think. It was the first one the Portuguese guys attended, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Because I had no idea there was a Euro B up till then.
Where was that Euro B that you won?
In Spain.
I think you and Max have something to call. I think it's won a Euro B as well. I don't even know where the Euro B is going to be this year because it's next month.
Spain.
Okay.
In Sax, where we had nationals.
I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be there virtually. I wish I was going to be there in person.
I'm going to try and speak. Is it the RC Racing guys doing that?
Yes. RC
I'm going to try and sneak in to have a chat with you then.
Sure. All right, A1. Let's get A1. We see that happen. A2 comes up. Ongaro wraps it up. I mean, nobody had nothing for him. He's just out. Like this type of track, it's going to be very hard to beat him.
Yeah, he's just like the old. We spoke about this, like me, Robert, Nicola, and Pecco as well. We were speaking, and it's like he found something that no one else has found. Like the connection he can have with the car, tires, the feeling on power, and so on. It's just something that for us is super difficult to get, right? Like I would say the closest I got to that kind of connection was my Q4, because it's like I wasn't really feeling fatigued to do those laps. And that's the closest I've been to him, because of course, like Q3, both of us had mistakes, but Q4 we were like at maximum level, I would say. But yeah, he found something, and it's just eclipse laps like this.
How about Matrix? Have they found something? Are they catching up to everybody now? They are developing tires. I know that you guys bitter enemies at Hot Race, but they seem to be doing pretty well. I know isn't he on them? Polito on them as well.
Yeah, and Noah was on them.
Noah was on them.
Noah was on.
So they had some success this past week.
I think they had something at this race as well.
Something new.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk about it.
I mean, I can't be sure because I don't know, and we were not close by on the tents. But I heard they had something, probably compounds, I would say, because I think tires they were on the known stuff that they normally run, like Nebula, Black Hole, and stuff. But I'm pretty sure they were working on compounds.
Okay. Go ahead, y'all. You wanted to say something?
No, just I think the tire watching. If you watch like the past from Davide, you see like the AKA tires. I tried those before, and it's like you don't really have a lot of side grip, but you do have a pretty comfortable car overall. I think Ricardo drove AKA for a while, so he knows that as well. And going to Matrix, I think it just suits his driving style. It's more or less the same thing. It's like it feels like they don't really have a lot of side grip, so he just can slide the car around the corners like he likes. And like the forward traction of those are just good. And I mean, especially with his driving style, it's like it's a whole different level to watch. So yeah.
A2. So a battle run for you, Joao. You got a
Third.
You got a third. Second was JC3. Coelho got a 4. So it was, it was Italy, Spain, Portugal. Noah Ben Mohammed, that was his throwaway. Barkan got an 8th. I'm just looking good through there. Remy Bermudez was actually 5th, so not bad for him. Boots kind of just not in that top 5 pace all weekend, it seemed. Unfortunate for him. After coming off some very good runs. Ronald Falk starting from the back of the pack. He had a 7th. Theo Lemer, the other young French guy, he had a 10th. Polito. Barton's probably a surprise. Coming off a victory here in February.
I don't know that they were trying the Infinity car, for like the Ebuggy one, because they didn't have one.
Okay, so maybe it
looks like.
I mean,
was he a different type of car altogether?
I think the front end was the same, looking at it from the track, but I cannot be sure. Maybe they're just testing with layouts and stuff just to get a feel for it. But yeah, you could see, like checking a little bit from the guys from the A final, you could immediately see which ones were like struggling going around the track, and then you could see the ones that were like more smooth, or that it felt that things happened more naturally going around the track, and then you immediately knew which ones were faster. For example, Joao was looking super smooth. I mean, not smooth, but
I'm never smooth.
Yeah.
You could see. I wouldn't describe your driving style as smooth.
No, for sure not. But you could see that his car would do anything needed to be fast, I would say. Maybe the car is not like cornering smoothly, but he has a lot of steering, so he does everything fast. And on Gary, you see that everything is smooth because he just has a corner speed. And for example, with Ricky, I didn't see it at all. I would always see his car like a bit twitchy, like doing sometimes with a lot of steering and sometimes not enough. And you could see that with Berkan a little bit. And then I think that translated into Burak being like struggling a lot. Boots, I mean, I don't think he was driving the way he knows how to drive because of how the car was around the track,
Yeah, I spoke a little bit with him throughout the weekend. And I remember after the qualifyings, I was telling him, like, I was marshalling on the double that has been there forever, like the side one that we jump sideways just before the chicane. And you would see like he wasn't comfortable because everyone else would land on that and just full throttle until you get to the chicane, and it's just smooth braking over there. Him, it was just like you could hear, I mean, it's a e-buggy, but you can hear like the motor and everything. And it was like super, super smooth because he was afraid of whatever the car was going to do. I think he figured out some stuff for the mains, but it wasn't. I think he never felt really, really comfortable. He told me that he has been a passenger the whole weekend. So it's just there doing the best he could.
Yeah, I mean, e-buggy is different, right? It's a whole different animal. I know plenty of people that are really good in e-buggy, but like they aren't good in nitro. And I'm like, well, you need to practice nitro a little bit more.
Yeah.
E-buggy has that power where you can just kind of tiptoe around places and just blip the throttle. And if you're a really hardcore nitro guy, you love that. I just think nitros carry more corner speed overall because you have to, right? You have to keep it in the power band. You have to keep it in the revs and all that type of stuff. So it's give and take, right? But we go into A3. We're going to bring that up. Joao, so going into A3. Oh, hold on. I've made a mistake here. Going into A3, you actually have a chance to finish second because
if I win,
yes. You had a third and Canas had a second. And if you could win, which I had no doubt that you could win this, you would take the second place because you would have a 3 and a 1 over here. I think it was you.
I think it was me, Noah, and
Coelho.
Canas. Yeah,
and Canas and Coelho too. Because Coelho could have finished second. He could have finished second.
That was his best result he could do, I think.
So going into this, and then I'm like, oh no, they had to call 10 minutes for you.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. What happened with your car?
So basically, we went out for the warm-up lap. We were doing just 1 or 2 warm-up laps. I don't know. I don't remember. And landing the big double after the blue concrete part, I just lost steering on my car. And I'm like, oh no, there goes the servo. There goes the servo. I tried because like the throttle and everything was working, but the servo was not working, like the steering. I told my dad, I rushed downstairs, took off the body shell out, and my servo was not working. Called out for 10 minutes or whatever the time they give us. I think it's only 5, to be honest. I was already going to change the servo, and Robert was with me, and he told, like, once they told me I didn't have time to do it, I stopped doing everything, and he told me, like, check all the connections and see if everything's okay. And on Techno, we need to use an extension for the servo because the receiver box is in the back and the servo is in the front, right? So, yeah, my connection, like the connector was just a little bit off. So, yeah, I had to ask for the timeout and started last.
Oh, man, I was so gutted for you. And then you started last, but dude, you made it all the way up to 4th.
Did you see where he started? I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Like,
dude, that was so random. I mean, the 13th place was already weird. Dude, the 14th, it was like he might as well just have done the track like in reverse, and it would have been the same thing.
So they had one starting position like in the middle of the corner there. Like, yeah. I guess that was 11th.
Yeah, they did like I think 11th, 12th, I think, and 13th were already in the middle. Otherwise, you couldn't really see the car.
If you can push it back, it's
yeah. I'm gonna stop it at that position so we can see.
And then 14th was like after the corner.
Yeah,
so
2 corners behind.
14 would be there.
Wow, that was 14.
Yeah, that was 14.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
you're like half lap down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean I was up obviously like 4 seconds, it says there. 4 or 5 seconds or whatever. I got lucky. People like I want to say a big thank you to all the guys, to be honest, on those memes. Because those guys that were not fighting for top spots, most of them didn't really made like a hard time going around them. Some opened up like Berkan, Pariente, and I think Ricky. They all opened up for me because they knew obviously I could fight for at least second. But yeah, I think I did a good charge, to be honest.
Dude, I saw you coming through. I was like, because you had that orange body one. I was like, oh, he's coming. Yeah. We got Noah Ben Mohammed, who's out leading right now. He's got Canas, and I want to say that is Bermudez.
Yeah.
Bermudez made a mistake, I think. And Coelho's just there ready to pounce. I really love that part of the track, that corner right there.
Yeah.
This was actually probably the best A final of them all. Canas is just kind of biding his time. And he ends up winning this here. I think Coelho takes second, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I think so.
And so Canas will take the second overall because he wins this. Bruno takes second. Noah would take third. Barkan would take fourth. Joao, you would end up in ninth, unfortunately. Remy Bermudez.
I think I got up to Bermudez and he crashed in front of me, so game over there.
Yeah, but impressively fast. Unfortunate for you. Not the position you probably earned all week. You definitely were and I think. All right, it was very hard to say because it was Angaro was just he looked to just be so much faster than everybody, but you were the second fastest driver there, in my opinion, and that was a hard position to be in because Noah was fast, Canas was off a little bit, I think, not as fast as he usually is. But you would, like, by hands down, I think between you and Noah were the two fastest guys there besides Ongaro, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Canas at the mains. I mean, he did his Canas thing, right? Like, he just got up there and showed up why he's one of the best in the business right now.
He's doing the old school Robert.
Yeah, coming back.
Oh, you mean coming back from behind the pack?
Yeah, because for years, for many races that Robert won, you could see that Saturday he was not really his day, and then on Sunday he would like instantly get it on, and then went on to win European Championships, World Championship.
Yep, that's Robert. 2017, he did that in Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. So unfortunate for you, but otherwise a good race, good showing for X-Ray. We're looking at some of the brands here, because good old middleman Max did some good notes. He's very excited about Noah Mohammed, Remy Bermudez, Parente, and Lemire. I guess they're all very young racers and doing well. We had 4 X-Rays, 3 SRX, 2 Technos, 1 AE, 1 Mugen, 1 HB, and 1 Infinity. In electronics, it was 4 Corsatec. Kind of not surprised. France, Adrian is from France. Hobby Wing, 3 Hobby Wings, 2 Reds, 1 LRP. Elassie has electronics.
Yeah, it's basically Corsatec made. So
gotcha.
It's same thing as Corsatec. We just changed the whole showing, like the cases and everything, to yellow. But yeah, same software and firmware or whatever. Everything is the same.
We had 1 Coyote that was Ronafalk Tires Hot Race. 5 Hot Race drivers in this final. 3 Matrix, 2 Seismic, 1 J Concepts, and 1 Ogo. So was rounded out with the major brands in who was the 1 AE? Hold on.
Ongaro.
Why am I an idiot? I forget that he drives for AE sometimes. It's like 1 AE. Who is that? Of course.
There.
Wow, we had Car up there. He looked pretty good. Wow. Car was good at the warm-up, nitro warm-up. I'm glad to see that young man racing some more. But I sound like an idiot. Who was the 1 AE? Winners. We have winners and there's Ongaro. This goes without saying. Coelho. I think a great 3rd place for Coelho. He barely does any of this 8-scale racing. I assume he's going to be at the Nitro European Championships in Italy at the end of July.
He was at the warm-up already. So
okay. Ben Mohammed, amazing run for him. Figueiredo, he has you as one of the winners. Only driver to beat Ongaro after round 1 of seeding. Losers, though. I have to say, unfortunate for Ronafalk, this was not a good race for him. And I know he can, so I'm kind of like, I'm a big fan of Ronafalk, and I've gotten to know him. I would be not surprised if Ronafalk wins the Nitro European Championships in July. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. I think he had a good run at DNC. He needs to get that first win under his belt. And I think the confidence will flow after that. Burak Hilik not making the final. And I would say Barufalo not making the final is 2 other surprises for this as well. Because Barufalo's, been doing okay with the WIRC. Burak would definitely not be happy about making this because he should have been in this final, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially after
Barkan.
Yeah, Barkan was doing well. Or decent, I would say. I think he could have done better, to be honest. As they both have been doing super great the last races. We've been all meeting up. I don't know. I think Burak has been a bit off with the work or something. I think he just finished that part. So he posted something saying that now he's going to be full-time RC. So
okay, so he finished his apprenticeship because I knew he was doing a body.
Something like that. Yeah,
apprenticeship for learn how to paint cars and fix auto body apprenticeship. So maybe he's going full scale into this now. And then medium, we have Polito. Like I said, Polito always in the main, but kind of at the back. He's way faster than that. I think, and Boots, I think, was medium too. After such good results in Nitro, having an 8th, not bad, but not great either. I would say. I don't think you guys can I think we can all be in agreement with that. Any thoughts on that before we move on to another thing that happened at this race?
Well, I think, yeah, those were surprises, like the Brunfalk and the Boots. They're probably not up to what we are used to see them, let's say. Polito, I mean, I think it was a good result. I mean, if you think it's his first ever Ebuggy race or Euros, I wouldn't say race, but probably Euros. Because I remember speaking with his dad there, and they said, "Hey, it's our first Euros, so doing the main is not that bad." And so, yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, Burak for sure, like, especially after last Euros, where he was fighting for the win, we would want to see him more up front for sure. So, but yeah.
How about you, Ricardo? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, regarding Burak, I would say, like, to put it simply, I would just say he was too fast for the circuit
track. Yeah.
Really?
With how because I mean, I'm pretty sure you've already saw him driving in Nitro. So you can imagine with how much power the Ebuggy has, he would be doing. I'm pretty sure I got caught with some rocks from his drifting around the track. So.
Dude, he was like, can you roll back just like a tiny bit on the video?
Oh yeah, I can.
He was doing last B main. I mean, he was, that's good.
Yeah,
he was doing nothing, right? So he was having fun. I went there. Robert was driving, so I was there watching with Davide and Berkan and Nicola. All four of us were down there watching the whole race. At one point, we saw Burak and Marco coming together because Burak, on this part of the track now, where Kana's going, he was doing the whole triple until here.
Really?
Yeah. So that's one of the things that Ricardo is saying.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if they have, like,
he was just jumping like the first and the second one, and then rolling the third one.
Yeah. So he was doing like
he was jumping that and landing in the middle.
Yeah, you can see it on the video.
Yeah.
There so and then landing here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like Ricardo said, it was just driving probably too fast for the track itself. This track it's one of those that, like, even on at the GP, you need to be really smooth, really calm. Otherwise, you just get off pace and you lose like the momentum on the track, and it costs you like 4 or 5 corners to get into it again, you know. So yeah, I think with him driving like he drives on Ebuggy, especially, everything is 2 times faster, right? So
two guys are so punched, both of them so punched.
BeachRC.com, the racer's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, S-Works, Pro Circuit Racing tires, Nitro Lux fuels, and Assault RC performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
All right, so Joao, I guess I gotta ask you, man. Well, you know, we'll do that. Our final thoughts. So, this caused quite a stir yesterday, and of course, you know, middleman Max has to talk about this because I will reiterate, he did all the notes. Lens Body, who is Nicola's body company from Hot Race, they debuted a body. I think Boots was the only one that ran it. And it got quite. I didn't even know, so I thought it was the S-Works ready to run body, right? And
it's a rocket ship. I
mean, I'll tell you what, if this works, all that negativity will go away because people's gonna run it. But you'll share the picture of this here. It's the Volturno. Is that
Volturno?
So what does that mean? Like, I think it means. I'm trying to think.
I'm going to say it's a mix of something, of 2 words, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a spaceship.
It looks like
Hers-
is it a fighter jet? I don't know how you call it. Is it a fighter jet?
So
Hey,
Max asked me to ask you this, Joao, and he said, Joao, if Nicola told you to run this, would you?
I would try it. I'm not saying I'm not trying it. I would try it because definitely Elliot improved once he put it at the body.
Did he? So he tried
he
it.
did.
What was his thoughts on the body after he tried?
think he's been driving it back home as well, testing it because he's been testing a lot of bodies with Nicola.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that like eye grip tracks, let's say my track, for example, the Ebuggy Arena, this is gonna work pretty good. That's what he said. So it just stables the whole car pretty good on the track. That's what he said. He says that the jumping side of it's really bad. Just the front just goes up and
it
that's
jumps super weird for sure.
Yeah, but he said like on the surface it works pretty nice. So
what did Nicola say about this? What was his design thinking when he went into this?
Oh, he said we spoke because I was with him after the race, and he said that his designer for bodies is a maniac or whatever, like he's crazy. And he kept telling me, like, I told him that it looks ugly and people will not probably use it. But then he said, but you know what? It looks ugly and people are speaking about it. So I might as well just send it to the market and see.
I'll tell you what, publicity. All publicity is good publicity. And if this works,
if it works, everybody's going to
it will be copied.
And you know what? I think if you paint that one on proper paint schemes, it doesn't look that bad.
I mean, I would like to see it in some paint schemes. But I mean, I know we're all used to that nice cab forward, that type of style bodies that we have now. But I know Max would be geeking out on this because he's all into this aerodynamic stuff, right?
Especially with his bodies.
I would have to give him a 30-minute timer, because he would just go on and on about it. I think this is things that we're not really looking at in RC, and we're going to have to start doing it. I guarantee if this works and guys are fast with this, there will be copies or similar bodies out there like this. So maybe Nicola's onto something. Get through that negative publicity, and if people start using it and it works, no one's going to care what it looks like, as long as it works.
Keenan, is this the new Bruggy saga? Like the new saga of RC bodies?
No, because I mean, truggies are supposed to have like a truck body. This is still a buggy body to an extent.
Sure.
I mean,
but it's way different. Sure.
Like a low profile body almost. I'm gonna ask Nicola. I really want to know. So let's go. So like all this type of stuff, all these little side dams and all this type of stuff and these openings, it has to be for something, right? Now, is this specifically for e-buggies?
Yeah, this one is only for e-buggy.
Yeah.
Okay. He says you can't use this on Nitro. It's too low.
Yeah, because there's no clearance for the air filter, I think.
Or the gas tank.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah. Interesting stuff, but you never know until it works. Yeah, until you try it. So
that's right.
I wish Nicola all the best. And like I said, if it works, people will use it. All right, we're gonna wrap this up, but I wanted to pick you guys' thoughts because we are coming up. You guys have the Nitro Euros coming up. Litos, man, what do you think what do you guys think you gotta do to beat Ongaro? Because it just seems like it's gonna be very hard to beat him.
I think we just need to find something that makes us more comfortable for the whole 45 minutes. If you go and check his warm-up race, he wasn't the fastest.
Boots was really good, right?
Yeah. Boots was the faster. I think I was the second fastest, to be honest, on the fast lap.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I got the fastest lap. I don't know, something like that. So I know that Davide just did that the whole 45 minutes, right? So we need to find something just to try and get that pace like he has for the whole 45 minutes. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out once you get there. Like the track was pretty similar to what we drove this weekend at Montpellier, like the grip wise and everything.
Really? Because they did glue it a bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about the Worlds?
Worlds is gonna be tough. I mean, Ongaro is super, super good there. We've seen him driving there, but we've seen Ronefalk as well at the Worlds with the Mayako doing pretty good. And Canas as well.
And Boots.
Yeah, Boots did
and you. And you.
I did a decent main. I mean, I'm aiming. I want to try to be on that top 3. To be fair, I'm not going gamble on this. I just think I have the pace to do it. So we'll see.
Do you think you could win the Nitro Euros coming up?
I can be up there. I'm pretty sure.
How about you, Mr. X-Ray?
I think I'm gonna have fun being there, even if it's racing or not. I don't know yet.
What about your team guy, Coelho, Ronefalk, these type of guys?
I mean, like I would say Bruno is like Joao, sort of. So I would say that if he has the package where they want it, I'm pretty sure they can be up there with Davide. So I would be confident for either one of them to do good there.
All right, Joao, being as you've been to the USA quite a few times this year. The Americans, obviously, we're talking about Worlds now. They got a feeling of what the surface is like at Redovon. I know the Boulders say they're going to put in a new layout. Only certain things will stay the same. I don't know if they've started that yet. I don't know if you guys have any inside information on that.
Oh, I think everything is the same because I'll be there for some laps. So,
right. So the surface probably going to remain the same. Do you think the American drivers come over here with a better chance than they did in 2022?
I think they will come up with much more info than what they have. That's for sure. Because it has been a while since, like, until 2022 Worlds, it was like a while since they came to Europe, right? And I think, to be honest, like 2014 Worlds in Italy was pretty much the same as we have now on kinds of surface and grip wise, or at least was like the most extreme you can get, right? So I think they will have much more info, especially like I don't know about the other teams, but Techno, for example, they are always asking us if we need something, if we know something that can work. So we are working pretty good to be competitive and make the guys coming here and being competitive as well since they won, right? So I think they can do pretty well. I mean, they always do, even if it takes them a couple of days to get into it. You always see, let's say, half and half in the main, Americans, Europeans. So
the cream always rises to the top.
I was going to say that.
The fast guys will be fast.
Yeah.
I'm very now with this J Concepts and the Baldo brothers running the J Concepts. I think like, wow, that was stunning information. Now my brain is clicking. I'm gonna see these J Concepts guys here next month. I'm gonna pick their brains about that. It's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. Wow, AMS for you. Bring this guy with you. Bring him to another American. I'm trying.
I told him if there is one we need to go is AMS. We have nothing in November, so
we were supposed to sign up together, but to be honest, now I don't know anymore. So
you guys will get. Trust me, you will get in because
I want to go.
It's not as glamorous as Las Vegas, where you went to the Worlds, but it's a good race. It's scheduled like an American, like a European race.
Please
it will be long.
Like American race. I'm not going.
It will be long. It will be long because there will be more entries than you guys get, and it's obviously e-trug and all that stuff. But it's a good race. I think a lot of I'm trying to get. I know Canna says it's coming again. Nicola says he'll probably be there, and that means Barufalo will probably come. I'm trying to get Davide to come. Robert's coming. Good. I'm trying to push Davide to come. I really want him to come to America. So we'll see. I like to see Boots come over as well.
I think I heard that Davide is going to try and be in more races in America next year.
So, well, if Matrix wants to get into that market, which is the American market, they need to go over there.
Yeah, they need to.
And race. Yeah. So it's a whole different ball game over there. And I still want the Americans to come over and race with you guys. IBC Americans. Well, they will be there. They will be there next year at the EBuggy World Championships. That's going to be held at their race.
Yeah.
So,
they need to come.
I can't. We're
changing the track quite a lot. Mm-hmm. That's our idea, and we need to change it like at least I would say 2 times at least.
Right, because you have a Euros there. You have IBC. Like your dad goes, be prepared to come to Portugal 3 times. I'm like, not a problem for me. I might just stay there. That's the way I feel. I think people will really enjoy Barcelos. It's a beautiful town. I enjoy Portugal. It's cheap. It's very cheap, very cost effective. I can't believe how cheap it is sometimes. And it's a beautiful place. I enjoy it. I like Portugal a lot. And you guys your dad puts in a lot of work. Your parents put in a lot of work. The association puts in a lot of work. The EBuggy Arena is a beautiful facility. And I think it gets me because a lot of people are like, oh, that track's so awesome. I'm like, well, come over and race. Come over and race. Yeah. You know? I know your dad still wants to put a roof on it, though. So I hope he.
Oh, we are looking into it. Yeah, I
know. You told me his plan, and as I've gotten to know your dad, if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
We want to. I mean, obviously we have a pretty good amount of entries for the IBC this year, but most of them didn't show up because of the rain, right?
Yeah.
So we want to keep that date. So if we want to keep that date, we need to cover it. Otherwise, it can rain out again, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
All right.
I wouldn't say next year or in 2 years, but we're looking into it.
Absolutely. I think people will enjoy the trip to Portugal. Fairly easy to get to from Miami to Madrid to Porto to Barcelos. Very easy flight, easy trip. I want to thank you guys for your time. It was cool talking to you. Ricardo, thank you for coming on. And we talked about bringing you on her. Probably going to see you on her a little bit more. I think you and Max can go in science mode while I stare blankly into the camera and act like I'm paying attention.
Into the void.
That's where I go when he goes into that. You know, I have this 5-minute timer, and I'm hoping that it helps him, but he doesn't.
You turn it many times, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't do safe words. We even tried hand signals on the last podcast. You know, it just keeps on going. But you know, that's all good. I want to thank you guys. Congratulations. I'm fortunate for you, Joao. I think you had second at this race. And I still stand by like your improvement, I would say in the last 3 years has been amazing. Your adjustment to getting on the techno has been great. I think it really suits you.
Yeah.
And I think you've been at pretty much every main and every big race you've been to this year.
I missed only the NC main by 0.3 or something.
Did you?
Yeah, I struggle at qualifying. It's something I'm trying to work more. Because before I was going super good at qualifying and do bad at mains.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to the point that my qualifying was doing but I was doing pretty good mains. And I suppose like this weekend I did pretty good qualifying. Then mains again. So we'll see. We're working on it.
And Ricardo, if what happens, which is telling me earlier, happens, I wish you all the luck, man. That's something, you know, you after talking to you in Portugal, like you're definitely science mode. And
maybe not as much as Max, I would say.
Thank goodness for that. But I appreciate you guys' time and friendship. I had a blast with you guys in Portugal. I look forward to seeing you guys hopefully at AMS. Well, I'll see you at the Worlds.
For sure.
And then hopefully see you at AMS. And then definitely, if I'm alive, because anything can happen, I'll be in Portugal next year. So I look forward to that. Thank you guys for your time. I wish you guys all the luck at the Nitro Euros. Have fun. Probably have you on after that to get the inside. Really getting all the inside scoop stuff here. I hope we don't get you guys in trouble.
I don't think so.
I think you'd be all right. You know?
Should be good.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your vacation, Litos.
Thank you.
Ricardo, enjoy your gaming. Dude, so just Just because I talked about this, tell everybody what you do for a living.
So I work in esports.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I do the broadcast part of the Portuguese competitions for esports.
So I'm sitting in my little hotel room in Barcelos in this chair that was so small, this little desk, recorded with Max for 3.5 hours, and he messages me, he goes, "You could have come to the studio and recorded it in our badass gaming studio that we got here." So I will be doing that next time I come back. And what games do you guys what's the two games?
We work mainly with Riot Games. Mm-hmm. So it's League of Legends and Valorant.
Cool.
That's
cool stuff.
Main
cool
games.
Stuff. All right. Well, you guys, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and good luck at your next race.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Tell your parents I said hello as well, please.
I will.
Techno RC. Techno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Techno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Techno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.technorc.com.
All righty then. Thank you, Joao, and thank you, Ricardo, for your time. It was a great chat catching up with you guys. Good luck in your upcoming races. I know you guys have the Nitro Euros coming up and all that good stuff. So I'll see you guys at the Worlds, and then hopefully we'll see you at AMS, because I know a lot of Europeans are coming to the Alabama Manufacturers Shootout in November. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Have enjoyed these little short form podcasts. Let me know what you guys think. Planning on doing a live show, I think, this week. Let me know if you want to bring the NNRC hotline back. I am looking for a company to support that or sponsor that. That does cost some money the way I want to do it. So if your company, you want a one-off thing that we're going to do probably twice a month, let me know. And let's resurrect the NNRC hotline. That's it. I hope you guys had a good weekend of racing. I hope you guys had fun. I know that as I'm recording this, I will be going on to Santo Domingo. So by the time you heard this, I would have been on there already. And I'll let you all know how that went with the GT ONROAD Racing 5th Scale GT8 and all that stuff. It's going to be cool. So I really look forward to talking about that. Probably have Max on next week as we do next week, Lex. You see, I'm getting confused. Later on this week to do a Nationals recap. Just trying to push out a lot of content here while I'm here. Because it's going to be a busy second half of the year with the Elite RC Productions crew. And like I said, RC Pro-Am and Wicked Weekend are my next races. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Remember, if you guys want to get some NNRC swag, let me know. We have hats and shirts available, and we'll get those shipped out to you. So let us know. And once again, a big thank you to all you guys out there, the NNRC squad. We've been doing this for about 5 years now. 287th episode. 286 more than JQ ever thought that we would do. I set out a goal. 300 is right around the corner. We're 13 away. I think that's 13. Yeah, that's my math. I'm pretty impressed with that myself. I still love doing these things. So I love talking RC, and I love having guests on here, and I love hearing from you guys as well, and your questions and all that stuff. And I think that's why I want to bring back the NNRC hotline, so we can have some more viewer interaction and do some live shows. We honestly can't do this without you guys' support, so I thank you. If you ever see me at a race, come up, see me, talk to me. I'm always there to chat. Get some stickers from me, because without you guys, none of this is possible. Also, a big shout out to the patrons of the NNRC and the YouTube members. You guys will get early access to this podcast. I thank you guys for all the extra support. If you wish to support us just a little bit financially, you can. Links for that in the written description of this podcast. A big shout out to these companies that support us. Obviously, this is a program. It needs to be supported by sponsors. I'm glad that you choose the No Name RC podcast as a place to promote your business. They are Invisible Speed, High Tech RC, Corsatec USA, Sidewinder Fuel, Mayako, Beach RC, Techno RC, Clinic RC, Stacked RC, Racecraft USA. Big shout out to the Elite RC Productions and Donathan RC. Shout out to our drivers, David Ronnefalk, Robert Battier, Alexander HagBerg, Matty G, Pecco Evening, Yuno Hotnan, and Mason Fuller for all you guys' support. We greatly appreciate it. Our official No Name RC podcast drivers. A big shout out to our affiliate and partner companies. We have links for them in the written description as well. Shout them out. Help them. Let them know that you heard about it on the No Name RC podcast. We'll be back later on this week with a recap, RC news, and all that stuff. And of course, we have the Raw Nationals coming up. My favorite race, one of my favorite races. So it's Raw Nationals, Euros, and a World. Those are my three favorite races to just sit off and watch and be a part of. It's the HagBerg race. It's the one race in the USA where they kind of race like the rest of the world with IFMAR start qualifying, all that type of stuff. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be at HRCR, beautiful facility. I look forward to the coverage. Unfortunately, not going to be there this year. I was there last year. And we're going to see who's going to be the Raw National champion here. Lots of racing coming up over the next. It's now June. So we're 6 months, right? So, yeah, we're halfway through the year. I just realized that. So we got another 6 months of a lot of racing going on. And I look forward to being involved in a lot of that. And, of course, like I said, none of that is possible without you guys. So with that said, Nitro's the glory. Ebuggy pays the bills. Thank you guys for all the support. Lefty is out. And of course, I didn't have this ready. You know, I got to put that outro. See you guys later.